Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that probably brings a little bit of stress to your household, crushing the NSW Selective School Persuasive Writing Test. Look, as parents of Year 5 and Year 6 students, we all want to guide our kids to confidently tackle this time-limited test. And you know what? You've absolutely got this. By the end of our time today, you're going to have the exact tools you need.
So, let's start with a question you've probably asked yourself at some point. Does your child have great ideas but struggle to turn them into a convincing, persuasive essay under time pressure? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are totally not alone. It's an incredibly common hurdle. Writing a strong essay isn't just about having brilliant thoughts. It's about organizing those thoughts quickly and effectively. Today, I'm going to give you a really clear, structured solution that you can practice together right at your kitchen table.
Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is a persuasive essay or opinion piece? Well, it's a structured argument that presents a clear viewpoint, supports it with evidence, and attempts to deliberately influence the reader's beliefs or actions. And honestly, the absolute key word there is deliberately. Strong persuasive writing isn't simply listing out facts or just generally sharing a random opinion. It's about strategically organizing ideas to convince the person reading it. Which brings us to Section 1, the essential essay structure. Think of this as the roadmap. There are basically 5 essential gears that make an essay work. First, the introduction needs a hook to grab attention, along with some brief background information. Second, the student absolutely must state a clear opinion, also known as a thesis statement. Third, we have the body paragraphs, and that's where the main reasons and evidence live. Fourth is an optional counterargument, which is a fantastic tool we're going to discuss in just a second. And finally, number 5, a conclusion that wraps the whole thing up with a call to action. It's a formula, and mastering this formula is the best way to reduce test day panic. Now, the absolute golden rule of persuasive writing is this: choose a clear side. This is a crucial mantra you need to pass on to your student. They literally cannot sit on the fence. In their introduction, they have to pick a distinct stance immediately. The examiner should never, ever be left guessing which side of the argument the student actually supports. Once they've chosen a side, they're going to move into the body paragraphs. And the rule here is brilliantly simple: 1 reason per paragraph. When kids are under time pressure, they often tend to just brain dump every single thought they have into one giant, confusing paragraph. We don't want that. Instead, they need to separate their thoughts. Sticking to 1 clear main reason per paragraph keeps their writing organized, punchy, and just so much easier for the examiner to read. But simply stating a reason isn't enough, right? They must explain and support every argument. Every single reason needs to be backed up. Now keep in mind, they won't have access to the internet to look up highly specific statistics during a test. So instead, they should rely on a clear explanation, a realistic example, or a general observation to make their point believable and robust. All right, let's move to Section 2, persuasive language techniques. Please don't let educational jargon intimidate you here. If you see a term like modal verbs, actually, scratch the jargon. It just means using confident words like must or should instead of weak words like maybe. Or take inclusive language. That's just using words like we and our to make the reader feel involved in the issue. And linking words like firstly and however, they simply act as signposts that connect ideas smoothly. These are the secret ingredients that elevate the writing. So the crucial takeaway here is to persuade with emotion and logic. A top-scoring essay beautifully balances passionate, emotive language, words that appeal to feelings, like saying something is unfair or wonderful, with sensible, logical reasoning. Strong feelings are great, but they must always be supported by clear, rational thinking. Okay, let's see this in action. Section 3, analyzing a sample essay on the topic, should school canteens only sell healthy food? Check out how this starts. Imagine walking into your school canteen and seeing nothing but fresh fruit. I believe school canteens should only sell healthy food. This is great because it paints a vivid picture. It acts as a fantastic hook to grab attention right out of the gate. And notice how it's immediately followed by a crystal clear thesis statement, picking a side. See? No fence-sitting here at all. Then we jump into the first body paragraph. Firstly, healthy food gives us energy. When we eat fruit instead of chocolate bars at lunch, we feel more awake and ready to learn. Do you see how this perfectly executes that 1 reason per paragraph rule we talked about? The reason is energy, and it is directly paired with a clear, realistic example: eating fruit versus chocolate bars. It's super logical and well supported.
Now, I absolutely love this next part. Some people say kids should be allowed treats, but there are plenty of chances for treats outside of school hours. This demonstrates the immense power of the optional counterargument. The writer acknowledges an opposing view. Sure, kids like treats, but then immediately rebuts it, explaining why their own position is stronger. It shows the examiner that the student is a deep thinker who has considered multiple angles. And finally, we reach the end. In conclusion, our canteens must put our health first. Let's make our schools places where healthy choices are easy. This is so strong because it uses the modal verb must to confidently restate the main argument. And it finishes with a fantastic call to action that tells the reader exactly what they should do next. Basically, they need to finish with impact. A conclusion shouldn't just trail off, and it definitely shouldn't introduce completely new arguments at the last minute. Rather, it should powerfully summarize the strongest reasons they've already made and leave a lasting impression on the marker. Which brings us to Section 4, a simple time-limited writing plan. Here is the exact action plan you should walk through with your kids at home for that 30-minute timer. Step 1, read the prompt carefully and firmly choose a side. Step 2, and this is arguably the most critical for surviving time pressure, plan 3 strong reasons before writing a single sentence of the essay. Step 3, write, keeping strictly to 1 reason per paragraph. Step 4, conclude strongly. And Step 5, proofread. I can't stress this enough. Checking for spelling, punctuation, and clarity in those final minutes is absolutely essential to secure top marks. I really want to leave you with this reassuring thought today. With a clear structure, strong reasons, and regular timed practice, your child can write a persuasive response with confidence. As a parent, you do not need to be an English teacher to help them succeed. Just use these concepts, practice timing them at home, and watch their confidence soar. So you've got the roadmap now. But ask yourself, is your child ready to turn their brilliant ideas into a winning argument before that timer runs out? If you want to put this explainer into practice and get access to more excellent resources, help your child practice structured persuasive writing with Path to Selective. You can visit them at www.pathtoselective.com. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy writing.